Hello, good afternoon,
Right.
and welcome. My name is Onuche Ogboyi, and I must say it is indeed an honor and a pleasure to have you back with us again for another session of Echoes from Africa. It's an in-house discussion today, and we are here, myself, Shaba, and Fadekemi. Can you guys say hi, please?
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Thank you, guys. I must say before I even go any further, I must say thank you to you guys. It's Sunday. Today is Sunday, and I must say these guys have given your time to join us. So I thank you guys very much for joining us today. It's not the best view from my end, but I made up my mind I was going to do this as well today. So I ensured I put on this. I love this particular thing. So this is just do it for me, and I'm very intentional about it. So yes, we are doing it live, and thank God for technology. Today we're talking about tech, and talking about tech in Africa. If not for tech, we wouldn't be having this meeting the way we are having it. I'm sure we would have to be gathered in one location. So today we're going all about tech in Africa, but we're going to be talking about the past and the present, more like history and the current situation of tech in Africa. Yeah, and before I have them say one thing, before I have them get into it, what there's this misconception which will still be spoken about. I trust that tech, when it comes to tech, people just focus on apps and all of that, but it's wider than that. Tech is so broad. So thank you guys for joining us. We're going to be talking. We are just going to be giving a brief view, whether we call it a summary or an overview. We're just going to be talking about those things today. And I must say, I trust we in the next episode, our plan is to bring on a guest who will be talking about the future of tech with. But for today, it's an in-house discussion, so we can get to raw minds about it. So, Fadekemi, let's hear you talk about tech. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. What's your thought on it? Just give us a brief insight into tech in Africa, whether the history, whether the present. Let's hear you talk. And she, by the way, she speaks French. Would you want to say something in French? Just say anything in French. Let's just hear. Please blow our minds. Anything.
Si je dis quelque chose en français, tu ne peux pas entendre.
Okay, you lost me like totally. So what did you mean?
I said if I say something in French, you will understand.
Oh my God. And Shaba speaks French as well. So thank you guys. Okay, so over to you, Fadeke. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Onuche. So well, tech in Africa, as we all know, is quite advancing. But when we speak about technology, the first thing that comes to most people's brain is apps, big machines that they use in factories and all of that stuff. Well, it goes beyond that, if you must know, in all sectors. Even the little phones that we use, of course, it's technology and stuff. So back then, well, as I've said before, as I've told a couple of people before, we used to have these things, back then. These ideas of technology, it was originally gotten from Africa. Yes, most ideas, it's been dated back to, those days, and, when it comes to take these ideas from us, they take it back, modify them, and then bring it over to us. So tech in Africa, even though we don't have the refined thing, so to speak, well, we've been advancing now. And even though we are not where we ought to be, we are still a little bit lagging behind. And most people say we are still lagging behind, like huge. But me personally, I think I've seen some advancement in the areas of, every aspect, culinary, carpentry, you just name it. There has been some advancements because, there was some time, back in the days, we have, for example, in culinary, I like food and stuff. Back in the days, we had to use pound, what's it called? mortar and pestle to pound yam. But now we have something called yam pounder. Like,
Well, some of us still do. Some of us still
you know,
enjoy.
yeah, some of us still enjoy,
Yeah.
the locally made pounded yam and stuff. But the bottom line is we have better way
Still
to do these
stress
things.
free.
Yes, we have easier way to do these things. There was a time that I didn't during my secondary school days, SS1, SS2, SS3, I didn't have a phone. I opened my first Facebook account on my mom's phone, and I'll have to I have to buy 100 naira recharge card and beg her to let me please do some things. I didn't have a phone, and if you see the phone, one small phone, there was nothing like this big and stuff. It was all this they call it in Yoruba, excuse me, say "Pe mi pada one me, please call me back. My hands are paining me," because the phone is heavy and stuff like that. But now everybody has, if you see kids these days, they're more acquainted with all these pads, iPhones, and stuff. So there has been an advancement, even though some of our own startups here are, lagging behind, or some of them have even died and stuff. But all in all, I think there have been an advancement. It might not actually be our own thing. Most of them are imported, but they are in the way Africans are using technology and stuff. There has been an advancement, and
All right,
that's
all right. Thank you very, very much, Fade. I think for me, one of the countries in Africa that has done quite well, especially when we talk of when we bring all the way to apps and all of that tech. I think Kenya. Surprisingly, I didn't know that until recently. Kenya has done really well. I think since about between 2007 to 2010, that was when they had about a number of startups that really, really brought about the kind of change in that regard, though. But moving on, Shaba, thank you so much, Fadi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Shaba, are you with us, sir? Hello, Shaba. Yes, yes, over to you. You are muted. Can you unmute yourself so we can get to hear you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'm here.
Yes, sir. So let's hear from you, sir. Let's hear from you. Let's get to hear from you on your own aspects of tech. Just give us something on tech. Give us something on the history or the present situation as you may deem fit on tech in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's get to hear from you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. One of the things when people say technology, one of the things that come to mind first, especially when you talk about Africa, I'd always make this example, and it's because it baffles me. Still seen as one of the greatest wonders of the world would be the pyramids of Giza. That's in Egypt. And the beautiful thing about that is the amount of ingenuity, the amount of genius that went into creating those pyramids, like the mathematics, technology that went behind actually creating these things. And like Fadekemi had previously mentioned, Africa is the cradle of civilization. And so at several points, we only have Africa to thank for a lot of the things that we have now, starting from paper, developments on bowls, because them having the Nile and everything, and a lot of other things that we have seen come over with time. And it is only through trade and through all these other avenues that we're able to see real advancement in technology to the point where we have it now. And there's this popular saying, where they say necessity is the mother of all invention. And truthfully, necessity in Africa has been one of those reasons why technology has been able to advance. And looking at some of the things that have been invented in the world, you can see a lot of African origin in it, a lot of African roots embedded deeply in technology. And looking even up till now, you made mention of how far Kenya has gone. Looking at presently at even Senegal, like with this popular musician Akon and the project that he has going on in Senegal right now, for the Wakanda lookalike, as I like to call it, but it's
do
that's
you
basically
think
what it is.
do you think I don't know, I've thought about it because you tried looking at it and I'm like wondering when will that actually come to fruition? How will that actually
Well,
come to
to
fruition?
be to be fair, it's a really large project. I celebrate his vision, but to be honest and frank, I don't see that coming to, because even he himself has said it, that he getting the funds to finance something like this it's massive. $6 billion is the first of calculation for everything to be built. But then again, we know that with the exchange rate, with everything going on, with the way the world is going, 6 billion is barely a scratch to what he would actually need to keep that place up and running. It's basically trying to do a mini Las Vegas in Senegal, and hopefully it's well maintained. Yes. So
Yeah,
basically, that
I think
technology and
for me, because one thing,
yeah,
there are a number of things when it comes to development in Africa, because like Fade said, she said they take a number of these things. This is not, if you look at a number of things, we see so many other things where these guys will take um things, or people, we won't call them these guys, where people who understand the value of what we have will take them and literally go and process or recreate them and bring them, because I think there are a number beyond the fact that we do not know the value of what we have. It feels that way. Beyond the fact that we don't know the value of what we have. I think there's a problem of scaling. We don't know how to scale. People who know better know that, okay, let's say from, I think we're talking about yesterday, we're talking about the grinding stone,
yeah,
and then is it mother the stone for pepper and all those things, and a number of us used it. I think Fade was saying she had not used it before. The number of us,
definitely use
we
it.
we definitely used it,
Definitely use it.
but a number of these things made the processes simpler. Now we have the blender to make things even simpler and all of that. So I think
Exactly.
we have a
Yeah.
problem of, we have a number of issues that may have caused all of these things that we're talking about. So I think I want us to go about talking about how, or what issues do we feel may have brought about where we are currently, because the reality is we have issues that are plaguing Africa as it is. So, can we maybe just list out maybe anything, just 1, 2 points, maybe just say one or two things that we feel may be issues with, okay, Africa or Nigeria. We can choose to use Nigeria as a as considering where we are, or Africa on a larger scale. So, Fade, can you just, let's hear from you one or two things that you feel may be problems or holdbacks on what we can really achieve as regards like our technological progress and all of that. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Onuche. One of the top things I feel is the problem is the competition that these startups have to withhold. Now, for example, I said before that they get these ideas from us and then take it away, modify it, and bring it back to us. Now, for example, people who originally had this idea, they had this thing going on. Then when the compete other innovators now, they would have this tendency of
I think I think we have some network issues with
the
yeah.
original idea owner.
Okay. Sorry, we lost you. We lost you at some point. We lost you at some point there.
Okay, I
Yeah.
was
So
saying,
yeah.
I was talking about the competition
Yeah.
that
Okay.
these technical startups have to, what they are up against. Now, as I've said before, you know, if, for example, a startup gets an idea, then, makes the product, put it out in the market, other innovators, some other competitors are bound to be like, okay, well, this thing is really selling in the market. How about we just take it up, modify it, then bring it back to the people. Of course, the people who want to get the modified version. So most times the competition is something that is healthy for the startups. It's a healthy thing. But then most of the time, this tends to get the startups overwhelmed when they see so much competition like that. They become overwhelmed, and before we know what's going on, they're out of business. We don't see them anymore.
All right.
An example is, while I was looking up on these aspects, I got to know there was a version of GoCarda before GoCarda came around. That is, they call them Max NG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, also into what Go.
I think that's Lagos.
They are also into what GoCarda does. But then GoCarda came in more advanced, more technical, and more easy. Yes.
More money, more
exactly. Money. people found it easier and people loved it. And before we know what's going on, where's Max NG today? So they get overwhelmed. They tend to get overwhelmed, and and another thing is funding. Yes, very important. These startups, they have great ideas, they have great things to bring solutions to people and stuff, but they need money to start this thing up, get it into the market, get it in the market and keep it in the market. But then there's no funding, no proper funding, failure to raise new capital, because it's one thing for you to get the product out to the market, and it's one thing again for you to keep it in the market.
Right.
So
that's very well. Thank you very, very much. Shaba, do you have something to say in that regard?
Okay. Talking about what just in addition to what Fadekemi has talked about, I agree with her when you say that you have a lot of people, allow me to say, plagiarizing the work of others because they feel that at one point, there's the competition, yes, and but like she said, we lack the originality in Africa that is needed to push us forward. We a lot of times we have half of the things. I can testify that half of the things in the place I'm staying right now, if I turn them over, it's made in China, made in Taiwan. I can hardly count anything that is made in Nigeria or made in Africa. So a lot of these things they make having to be a purely African thing, and so to a high level, I feel like the originality that is needed to truly say that Africa has its own technology, it's hardly there. We cannot testify to saying we have these things. Even it goes to the point whereby Africa is admittedly one of the oldest, has some of the oldest civilizations in the world, and still we cannot say that we have the kind of space program that some of the other continents have. We cannot say that we have the same kind of, for instance, phones. Not to my knowledge, is there any phone company that is African based that has started and has stayed for as long as some of the others? We know Techno, we know Nokia, we know Samsung, we know the iPhone.
Yeah.
So none of these are African companies. And it is not to say that they do not come to Africa to get some of the things they need. The silicone needed, the plastic needed, all of the things they need, the materials, the raw materials they need, they get from Africa.
All right.
And then in the long run, we just get the finished product. So I feel that to a very high level, the fact that we do not produce what we use contributes to the fact that we are left behind. We are seen only as consumers rather than producers, and I feel like that contributes a whole lot to our problem.
I think thank you guys very, very much. Maybe I should just add something in that regard. I think there's also a place of the policies, the government policies. I think Fadi mentioned something about Max NG, which was really amazing. Max NG and GoCarda, and I must say. So can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Sorry.
We can hear you. We
I
can
thought I
hear
lost.
you.
I thought I lost you guys there. Okay, so I think government's policies play a role there as well, because in Lagos, especially, if you look at what happened and how with the motorcycle issue, and it just felt like those guys really had to just go down for a while before they had to go back to reinvent themselves and then come back. The issues plaguing the Nigerian tech. I don't know how it's going on with people in the fintech, but that's something I trust we can discuss soon in the future of tech, because when it comes to government policies, those are things that I feel like should really be supportive of what we have, especially in this space when we're talking of apps and all those things. People in the fintech, Trove, Chaka, which other fintech? I'm trying to remember. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember a number of this other. Is it Cowrie Wise? I don't know, but I feel like those people in the fintech have been going through some issues lately, and we really need a lot of this government policies to be more supportive in that regard.
Sorry, for example,
Yeah. Okay.
as what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the government just woke up, well, so to speak, woke up one day and decided to scrape cryptocurrency. It's really affected a lot of this.
Seriously,
fintech.
I really trust that those
Really
discussions
affected
are
them.
things that will come up in the next this thing, because these are really things that we really need to really like talk about. But I'm with you. Let's like you're still on. Please keep speaking, my dear. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just saying that, as I said, the government decided to wake up one day and just brought up that policy and, to scrape cryptocurrency. It really affected a lot of this, technical startups. It really affected them a lot. And, people had to like divert to, P2P, and which was a long process.
We would even still talk about, I think when we talk of Twitter, I think those are discussions that must really
Yes.
Yeah, when you talk
still,
about a lot of these people, yeah.
this thing, because we need to really know what we are, well, like what is ahead of us and how we should really fine tune ourselves. A number of reasons why things work out. Sorry, Shaba, you're going to
No, sure.
Yeah, a number of reasons why things work out outside is because policies are more supportive. So people come and say that, oh, these guys have ideas, and boom, they're outside. One of the things, I was privileged to be on a team that was trying to raise some fund for their business, and I discovered how easy it was for somebody outside to want to support and even send money for them. And I was like, things were just so easy from there, because the guy was like, okay, is it possible for this thing to like happen? Let's have it there and with ease and everything. It just felt really hard to scan. I'm like, why? Why does it have to be that hard here? He was talking about security issues, and I'm like, that's the reality. Just imagine people. There was this funny thing that happened at the time when this whole Twitter stuff came, and they were like, what if Twitter actually came to set up shop in Nigeria? It would have been really, really crazy. I'm trying to imagine the whole. Why are you laughing? You're trying to imagine it, or what? Let
I don't want to, I don't want to talk off point or, digress or something, but, just continue. I'm sure you heard a lot of things that people said about that. So
many pictures. Is it memes they call them? So many of those things kept flying around that time. It was really, really, really hilarious and unfortunate at the same time. But I think for me, because we need to ask ourselves which way. We need to really have an idea of where we want to be, and then walk in that line. There's so many things. We're still going to talk about the future of tech in the next, like I said, in the next session, and it's something we would really, really dissect. The reality is, we have come from a place where we have experienced so many things as a people, and we really need to get to the point where I'm sorry for saying but the reality is we have come a long way, and there's still a long way for us to go. The reality is, even China that a number of us look up to today, sorry, Shaba had to leave. The China that a number of us look up to today had to go through a number of those things. So I think from me, I feel like it can be better. I feel it can be better.
Yeah.
So I don't know, in round of, do you have any other thing? Do you have any other thing to say? you have anything to say? Maybe in addition or any way.
Well, I feel like with the way things are going in Africa, not in Nigeria now, because I feel with the way things are going, technology is moving, and we are still going to get there. I believe we are still going to get there, even though there are some problems, just as we've said. And like the number one thing for us, especially in this Nigeria, is regulation, because we can't move a step forward if these regulations are not there. It's just like a scenario where we move a step forward, and then these legal troubles, they pop up, and then we move 3 steps backward again. So regulation is really very important, but aside that, I believe like it's so glaring. We are moving.
It's all right. It's all right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Shaba, let's hear from you. Is there anything in rounding up? Anything at all? I want to hear from you from where we are to where we are going. Anything you want to drop?
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say a few things and that you might not agree with, but then I feel that from my point of view, one of the things that have helped some of the countries that we would mention as who are leading powers in terms of technology is one, acceptance of whatsoever technology. Now, they have never been afraid to fail. China closed their borders for years solely because they wanted to improve on their economy. We have had several projects in Nigeria which have had to shift over to, I'm sure Fadekemi can remember, that we once took a trip to Shanghai in, that would be Benin Republic. And now Shanghai is a company owned by a Nigerian, and you would expect that such a person would have at least pushed this project to have gone so far. He produces, this is a wonderful project whereby he produces his own light, produces his own food, he produces with large expanse of land. And now only for me to go back and do some research and find out that he actually proposed to have this project built in Nigeria, and then it was not accepted. Now, I am making mention of Nigeria, I'm making mention of this example because in retrospect, he is not the only person who has suffered from this. Several startup companies that have started have ended up being bought over by companies outside the continent. If some of the projects, for instance, giving an example of Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk has a lot of his projects not African based. Tesla, for instance, is not an African. Now, admittedly, because it's an electric car and the state of Africa and light issues, we can safe to say that buying a Tesla is not exactly a safe investment. But then,
your car not stop on the
so
road.
many funny scenarios come. On the road, exactly. Where you wait to your wedding and then your car stops and then you're like, sorry, you late your own wedding because your car stopped.
Oh my god.
Oh, transformer blows.
But then, oh my god, or transformer blows on that street.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Expensive car, but you're trekking everywhere. So, but then the truth of the matter is that I feel to a point Africa is not ready to support some of the things that the great minds that Africa has on ground. Because the truth of the matter is economy. You have to look at the economy. Now, when the Nigerian government decided to ban cryptocurrency, to a very large extent, I could understand, because I believed that as of the time, Nigerian economy could not support a secondary source of currency. Naira was already suffering as it was. And so at the same time, you bringing in cryptocurrency wasn't going to help in any way. To me, that was my personal opinion, that
I think
us having a secondary, we can't even manage the first one we had. Talk more of having a secondary option.
You know what's going to happen? Because of the way a number of these things are going, I think I'm trusting we can actually have a session, because I want a session where we can have a guest who would really dissect blockchain and crypto. That's I'm really trusting we can have that, because I think it's really important. When on tech, we need to really break down a number of these things so we can actually have a number of these discussions, because I think we may need, who knows what if, because I think the El Salvador is the country that has kind of, is it legalized crypto or Bitcoin as a currency. So I don't know what the effect will look like yet. Just that was I think they just launched an official wallet 2 days ago or so, Chivo or Chivo. I don't know what the correct pronunciation of that is, but I think we really need to.
Chivo.
I think it should be Chivo. So we really need to, because we are at this point where we should really explore. We shouldn't be afraid. I think maybe we don't really have risk takers who are a number of these people. A number of these people are not exactly entrepreneurs who are about trying new things and looking at. So we just have a number of people who are like, this is the way it should be. This is the way I know it to be.
This is what works for us, and this so we should just continue.
Thank you. And the thing is, we don't really have experts about the future. There are really no experts on the future. We only have experts on things that have existed, and then they are giving their idea about, okay, this is the way I know this thing to work, or this is the way I know this thing to not work. And then there's a place of timing, and there are a number of things that have come. There was even something before Netflix. Let's even look at Netflix. There was something before Netflix, but the timing was not just right. The timing was not just right. So there are a number of all these things as it is, and I think I'm really optimistic. I really am optimistic because we have. Let's look at Adela. Come on, let's look at Paystack. Look at Paystack. Is it Shola and Ezra? These guys, shout out to a number of these tech brands that are really making it look
totally. They deserve a lot of.
I tell you,
and a lot of shout outs.
Team Shagaya of Ulessin. Who else? There's this lady, I've forgotten her name. I'm trying my best possible to remember her name. But we have Odunayo. I've forgotten which particular. Can you guys help me out? Paystack, there's Cowrywise, there's another one.
Paystack, Cowrywise,
Piggy Bank.
If possible, Piggyvest.
I think Piggy, yes, Piggyvest. I think that's Odunayo. Yes, I think they turned it from Piggy Bank to Piggyvest. So I think that's Odunayo.
Piggyvest, yes.
Odunayo, Ewenigi. Those guys are really. We have in the movie aspect, Jason Njoku. I've forgotten.
Njoku, yeah.
Who else? Olumide, Olusanya, the rest.
I feel Flutterwave falls under that too.
Flutterwave is Iyanuoluwa Aboyeji. He's also co-founder of Andela as well. These guys have really done well and are really making it look really good. They're really making tech look very interesting. But entrepreneurship is not as easy. I must still remind.
Really interesting.
Entrepreneurship is not easy. I know entrepreneurship looks like one of the coolest things to get involved in right now, but we must still emphasize how crazy the risk.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, especially in Nigeria, especially in Africa. I tell you the sincere truth.
It's not easy.
I must say, as we round off, I don't know. Okay, is there any closing remark from you, Fadekemi? Is there any other?
I think most of these things actually boils down to the supportiveness of the government.
So true.
Yes, because if they are supportive about this, putting regulations in place to, support this, our own thing, you really go a long way.
Yeah.
You would really go a long way.
All right. Thank you very much. I must say, thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know I can see Shaba is in tie. It is so obvious that he hasn't even changed from his Sunday wear, but awesome. This is Sunday best for me. This is Sunday best for me. So thank you very much, Fade. Thank you very much, Shaba. I appreciate you guys. So I trust that in subsequent discussions, we will get to see you guys. And if you're joining in, if you're watching this, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Subscribe. Drop your comments. Yes, thank you. Drop your comments down below. The links will be there, and please
Share the
Don't
link.
forget to like.
share. Don't forget to
Share
like.
the link.
Yes, share the link. Don't forget to like. Drop something. Let's know you are with us. Thank you so much. Once again, Shaba, thank you. Once again, Fade, thank you so much. God
Yes,
bless
sir.
you guys. Don't
You're
forget to
welcome.
stay
You're welcome.
awesome. God bless you. Stay rooted. Take care. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Got it.